Nobody announced it, no press conference, no breaking siren, there was just, suddenly, motion. Within hours of Iranian drones lighting up the Dubai skyline, 20,000 Americans were cut orders they didn't ask for, planes fueled, manifests filed, all they had to do was show up ready. 40,000 US personnel, 7 countries, Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait, the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Iraq. One message, no words needed. At the center of all of it, the Strait of Hormuz, 21 miles wide at its narrowest. 20% of the world's oil passes through it every single day. This deployment isn't just about troops, it's about that strait. You notice the quiet first. Not peaceful, purposeful. Every sound in this hangar is load-bearing. A sergeant walks the line. No words. Hands that have done this so many times they know what to look for before the eyes do. In the corner, a young soldier paints his face, not for a camera, not for anyone watching, slowly, methodically, the way you might say a prayer. Somewhere across the floor, a man pulls out his phone, doesn't unlock it, doesn't dial, just holds it, then slides it back into his pocket. Whatever that moment was, it was private. And it was enough. The C-17s aren't here yet, so they sit, rows of them. Full kit, rifles across their laps, eyes pointed at nothing in particular. A few words here and there, but not the kind you remember. The kind you say because silence gets heavy when the room already knows what comes next. Waiting for a soldier is not rest. It is the last moment before the decision becomes permanent. Then the sound arrives before the aircraft does. A low, felt in the chest frequency rolling across the tarmac. Then 3 of them materialize out of the dark. C-17 Globemaster IIs, each one capable of hauling 170,000 pounds to any landmass on Earth, landing on runways that barely qualify as runways, turning around without a support crew. This aircraft was the first military transport ever built with fully digital, fly-by-wire controls. On August 15, 2021, one C-17 carried 123 people out of Kabul, a single flight, the largest single aircraft evacuation in history. Tonight it arrives to do something quieter, but no less consequential. There is no signal. The soldiers simply know. They rise. They move across the tarmac in a single line. Rifles down. Heads forward. They board quietly. No one looks back. Up front, two pilots run through a checklist that takes no notice of who they are. Fuel loads, flight plans, Atlantic weather. Women make up just over 6% of all US Air Force pilots, roughly 750 out of 13,000. In the C-17 community, closer to 5. Tonight, 2 of them are flying toward Al Udeid. Behind them, the loadmaster walks the hold, checking every strap, every chain, every tie-down point. She signed off on this load, her responsibility until the ramp opens on the other side. Green light. The engines roar. The C-17 rolls. For the soldiers in back, no window, just the vibration of the airframe, and the knowledge that the ground beneath them is about to change forever. Descent. A runway materializing from white heat hangars, and beyond them nothing. Desert. Flat. Infinite. Al Udeid Air Base. Qatar, the largest US military installation in the Middle East. 10,000 personnel. 200 miles from the Strait of Hormuz. This is not a staging post. This is the hub. Wheels down. Ramp opens. They walk off into dust and heat in a sky that doesn't look like home. A sergeant points. They move. They are already just part of the machine. But the ramp isn't done. At the rear, an AH-6 for Apache Guardian is extracted, folded for transport, rotors swept back along its fuselage like a fist that hasn't opened yet. 16 Hellfire missiles, 76 rockets, a 30mm chain gun firing 600 rounds per minute, over 5.3 million total flight hours, 1.3 million of those in direct combat. 19 nations operated, none of them lended out. Above the rotor mast sits the longbow fire control radar. It tracks 128 targets simultaneously, ranks them by threat, cues weapons, all while the helicopter stays hidden behind terrain. It sees the battlefield without joining it. And then there's the helmet, the IHAT's integrated helmet and display sighting system. The 30mm cannon is physically slaved to the pilot's head. Wherever they look, the gun follows. Point your eyes at a target. 600 rounds per minute follow your gaze. The Apache rolls onto a foreign tarmac, blades still folded, landing gear settling into desert soil. Still, but not for long. In 2024, AH-6 for Isachi 13 drone kills out of 14 engagements. No modifications, no new systems, just the machine doing what it was always capable of. Applied to a new war. Iranian fast boats swarm in numbers. Their drones fly low and cheap. The Apache was built to kill Soviet tanks. It doesn't need to be redesigned for this fight. It just needs to show up. Within hours, these blades will spin. Within days, they'll be hunting. The C-17's ramp is already rising, engines cycling back up. Nothing here for this crew but a turnaround and a heading west. Back across the Atlantic, back to load up again, more troops, more Apaches, more of everything. This operation demands. The aircraft that made all of this possible is already gone. No segment. No footage of them landing home. Most of the crew women, none of them asking for the coverage. The Apaches will get the airtime, the strikes when they come. Will lead every broadcast. But not one soldier, not one helicopter, not a single Hellfire missile reaches that tarmac without someone flying it there. Through the night, across the ocean. On a schedule so tight there is no room for anything other than getting it right. They are not the story anyone is telling. They are the reason any story is possible at all. The next rotation is already being planned. No one has said stop yet. And if you ask this crew, they won't be the ones to say